Hey guys, how the hell are you? It is time for an all-new unbiased gear review. On this, the Humongous Distortion by Pepers pedals. So first, a few specs on this unit. We have a rough and tough powder-coated metal enclosure here. Two switches, one for mode, one for bypass. What that mode switch does is it turns it to EQ only. You also have a three-way rotary switch right here, which goes between heavy, hyper, and thrash modes. We have level, we have high, we have mid, we have low, we have distortion, and we have a clean blend. On-off LEDs, as well as over here, mode LEDs, top-mounted input and output, as well as 9-volt adapter. Also inside, I didn't know this before I started shooting this video, but inside there is also a trim pot for the clean blend signal, as well as there's also a few dip switches for a handful of particular frequencies. So you can play around with a few other tones contained herein. So Pepers Pedals is now making its triumphant return to this channel, having been featured here a couple times in the past. Let's see what this one can do. Enough talking, let's just go right into the tone demo. For the purposes of the tone demo, I will be utilizing my new number one, my custom 7-string from Reichardt Guitars in the Austin, Texas area. We will check out how this unit sounds on its own, and then we're gonna check out how it sounds in a full mix. Okay, so first, before I get too far, I should point out something. I've just got the blend knob all the way up because what I'm mainly wanting to do with this is to demonstrate what the pedal actually sounds like, not necessarily how it's blended in with the signal of your amp already. You can use your imagination for that. But yeah, the blend knob is very useful, but basically I've got it cranked so that way you can see how this turns into this. And now let's put it through its paces in a full song mix. So overall, my final thought on this unit is this is extremely versatile and useful. It's got a lot going on for it. Between not just having a little bit of expanded equalization options for you by having that mid control in there, as well as the clean blend knob, you also have basically one unit that is containing essentially the tones of a Boss heavy metal pedal, a Boss hyper metal pedal, and a DoD Thrashmaster. Give or take a little bit, because obviously, of course, like we just mentioned, some expanded controls herein, as well as the dip switches that are in the back of the unit. A lot of tonal variation to play with here. Some of it extremely, extremely useful. Some of it maybe not so much to some of us. Some of us were just going to be in awe of how great the HM2 chainsaw sounds, and we're not going to play around with some of the other stuff so much. But for those of us that like to explore, like to figure out some other tones that can be blended into your mix, you know, like for those of us like me who like quad tracking, you know, we've got a couple tracks of HM2 and then maybe throw in a little bit of the Thrashmaster underneath as something just kind of bolstering certain frequencies, maybe mess with the dip switches a little bit, maybe even use that hyper metal as a solo boost when you go to record your leads. But basically, there is a wealth of things going on here. And if you wanted to bypass distortion that's on tap and just use the EQ section, because let's be honest, that's what a lot of these pedals are also known for. Hey, no problem. Click this little button, EQ only, and now you can sort of pair that up with your amp's own high gain distortion channel. Yeah, when I say versatility is the name of the game with this pedal, wow, is this an extremely, extremely versatile chainsaw pedal. But Arnold, what are you drinking today? I'm so glad that you asked. From the same people that bring us Delirium Tremens and Delirium Nocturnum, we are going to enjoy Delirium Red today, which is an 8% Belgian ale with cherry and elderberry. We are looking at a very deep red on that ale right there. Definitely looking at some good carbonation there. Aroma is very berry forward. You know what it smells like? Like boysenberry syrup, just a little bit. And then it kind of finishes clean on the aroma. Let's dive in. Quite refreshing. A little bit tart. Honestly, very good though. Very interesting. Let's go in again. That is quite enjoyable. Is it the thing I would reach for each and every time? No, but if I want something a little bit more interesting, it's kind of approaching Creek territory a little bit. It's a little tart. You've got those tart cherry notes. You've got a little bit of other berry and red fruit that's in there as well. Good carbonation, like I mentioned earlier. Even on that flavor profile, it kind of cleans up really, really nice. Honestly, that is really rather enjoyable. Let's go in one more time. Not my favorite thing in the world, but is it still a damn solid brew, especially for those of us that like something that's a little bit off the beaten path? Absolutely. That's solid. Delirium Red. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Please remember to like this video, subscribe to this channel. Tons more of metal and guitar-oriented content to come. And as always, remember, take what you do seriously. Do not take yourselves too seriously.